one comment under our citizen comment portion with Mr. Krauseneck. Oh, back in the corner there. Good afternoon. Yep.
Go. Greens go. I just wanted to have some comments. I'd rather just sit down and listen and then discuss, but I know we do this first. But the two items you have on your agenda for the pilot tax incentives and legislative priorities after that. So to my understanding, under the pilot portion, you're going to be talking about possibly taking a stance and creating policy where you're going to say no to residentials moving forward. And I think that's awesome. We've made some strides, and I want to thank you in advance if that's what we're doing tonight. That's phenomenal. You're listening to the citizens. With that, I guess I would ask, and I've asked before, but to go one step further and just say no to anything non-primary sector. So you're going to cover the residential side of it, but you'd also cover retail. So that would be my ask, is no to non-primary sector.
Stay tuned.
Sounds good. I figured you might be on board with that. The other one, legislative priorities, it sounds like you're going to be talking about lobbying our legislature to give you the permission or the consent for anything that's 5 years or less as well, so that the city can't continue to shove these 5-year tax incentives down your throats and the school board's throats. If you watched the city meeting last night, a lot of us were there speaking against the two residential projects that were approved for 5 years, and you guys had no say in that. So I'm fully behind you doing that. Also, I mean, I've been speaking over the last year and trying to gather some support, and I've got, I think, about a handful of current legislators that are on board with making legislative change next spring. So if you guys are looking to do that and you want to get in contact, I'm sure you've already spoken with some, but I'd be happy to put you in touch with those folks that are already willing and on board to work with the county and work with the school board for that. So anything I can do to help, I'd be happy to. But thank you in advance for what it sounds like is going to be some good topics on numbers 12 and 13. Thanks.
Thank you. All right.
Go right into
Next
the
up, we have
pilot tax incentives.
Okay, next is number 12. Okay, I'm ready to make a motion on this one already. I'm tired of pilots. So the motion is the following. The Grand Forks County Commission adopt a policy stating that the county will no longer accept or consider applications for tax incentives, including payment in lieu of taxes pilot agreements for residential housing projects, including single-family homes, multifamily developments, and apartment complexes, effective immediately.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second. If there's other discussion.
Gonna do a roll call. But these just aren't popular. They're not fair, and
No, they're not.
it's just
Oh,
time to take a stand.
Yeah. I'm with you, buddy.
not to participate, with the city in their meeting over these pilot programs. It's a done deal with that.
If we pass this policy, and they have a meeting to, like, say, apartments or whatever, yeah, there's no use going because we're not voting for it anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just, I
Yeah.
don't even know if there's a necessity to be in that committee anymore either.
Well, there are other pilots. They do, like Agrista would go through that committee too. But if the meeting is going to be about anything on the list I just mentioned,
Yeah.
and we don't need to go, we've made our decision. And on a side note, if this does pass, Mr. Ford, feel free to send that motion on to the school superintendent and the school board.
I will.
Don't, and tell them take a hand.
Yes, sir.
All right.
See it.
I think they'll follow suit, actually.
Is there any other discussion before we do a roll call vote?
Commissioner Bjerke, your proposal, would that include any type of care facility for senior built housing?
I'll read again. Residential housing projects, including single-family homes, multifamily developments, and apartment complexes. What was it again? You said the senior what?
So if there was a development for, senior housing specific with some level of care or whatnot, how would that be handled?
Well, that to me is beyond residential, but
Yeah.
once again, I'm not a lawyer, nor do I pretend to be one on TV. But I think if they get, once you start getting into what I would call assisted living, that to me goes beyond residential because there's services provided that are not provided, but that's,
Can we
Ms.
make it-
Wamstead's ready to jump in here.
Can you rephrase with a clarification on that?
Yeah, it was for residential houses.
Specific to that? Can you just change what you read there?
To what, to add it or?
I would like to exclude
Senior
anything
housing.
senior housing related.
Okay, well, is that apartments for 55 and over then?
No, it'd be a care facility of any,
Another valley,
Yeah.
elder care.
yeah,
Facility or?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well, something's better than nothing. I take what you get. All right, so I will, let's put it, I'll read it again. Care facility, right? Well, I want to make sure you get the wording right. The Grand Forks County Commission adopts a policy stating that the county will no longer accept or consider applications for tax incentives, including payment in lieu of taxes pilot agreements for residential housing projects, including single-family homes, multi-family development, and apartment complexes, but not care facilities? Effective immediately.
Second.
Very good. Does that satisfy your?
Does.
Perfect. Ms. Wamstead, were you going to add a comment? I'm sorry, I didn't see that you were.
That's okay. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Just so everyone is aware, if you recall from when we reviewed prior pilots, the entity requesting the pilot, such as the city, has an obligation to notify other taxing entities, including the county, and we have an obligation to respond within an objection within that statutory timeframe. And so even though there's a policy and a motion, we still would want to make sure if a relevant pilot came before the board to respond and have a motion rejecting it if that was the wishes of the board, just so we meet our statutory requirements.
But it's their obligation to notify us.
Correct.
So we will get notification.
Right.
Then we can give that big no and send it on back. All right, I'm on board.
Did you have anything else?
Nope.
Good. All right, we'll do a roll call vote. Mr. Bjerke,
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Hodny.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Passes unanimously. Great job, guys. All right, legislative priorities. Speaking of,
Okay, I want to add, we have that list. I'm going to read it and then add this. I think we should add it to the list for when we talk to the state. And this is going to be the motion. The Grand Forks County Commission requests the state of North Dakota to repeal the authority given to cities to approve property tax exemptions for 5 years or less for any political subdivision other than themselves. Period. Which means if they want to give one for 5 years or less and they don't want to take the money, that's fine. But we want the money. And if it passes, Mr. Ford, send this one on to the school board and Mr. Brenner also. So that we will be lobbying, that's what goes, then to be hopefully that's going to be the county and the school board against the League of Cities, and they can have it out. But I am confident that if we as the board were denying the city money, if we were doing what they were doing, I think we'd hear it from them. And so we need to send the message back. Enough's enough. We got budget issues. We cannot continue down this road of deferring all of our new growth 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. It's just not financially feasible. So that's my motion, to put it on the list of, for Mr. Ford.
all right, first and a second. Is there any more discussion on this topic? All right, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is passed unanimously. Was there any other items under the legislative priorities that you? Very good. wanted All to- right, back to you, Mr. Bjerke.
Shockingly, I'm not done. The next meeting, I'd like to bring back under pilot tax incentives. I'm going to read it, but it's not fair to ask you to vote. You haven't heard it. So I'm going to go through it and then you have 2 weeks to think about it. Just like the motion I made before, I would like to say, have the commission state that when it comes to hospitality, retail, and the service industry, we will not accept any pilots. So that would be hospitality, retail, and service. Basically, word as I had before, how I worded, but no pilots in regards to that. I think we should look at that also. That is directly competing against small businesses. And we should not be subsidizing hotels, bars, restaurants, shoe stores, bowling out, anything that's not job growth, that's not economic development. That's not what we're doing here. We're not bringing in a Gristo. So I'd like to see us bring that up. And if it does pass, you can feel free to forward that on to Mr. Brenner and the school board too. So those are my 4 things. For sure, I'd like to bring up that pilot issue so we could vote on it at the next meeting. 'Tis a season, it's budget time. You know what it is for me? It's the most wonderful time of the year. All right, thank you.
Mr. Bjerke, you said hospitality, service, and retail. Just wanted to make sure. Okay,
Hospitality, retail, service.
got it. Thank you.
I just don't like to